welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About It. My name is Beth Mwaura, and this is my little channel. I call it Let's Talk About It. And if you are here for the very first time, I do love visitors. Karibuni sana, feel at home. But please remember to subscribe to my channel, like my content, comment, share with your friends, and let us have fun together. So today is actually a very interesting episode because I will be talking about one of my stories that I have been wanting to share for a very long time. But before I begin, I do have some little, what do we call it? I am thinking of calling it housekeeping, whereby we will be having a few things, housekeeping, kama rules or some announcements to make and everything. First of all, subscribe to my channel, obviously, and then second of all, please follow me on my Instagram page. It's Let's Talk About It 7, and also I have my personal account. It's Beth_Mwaura7 on TikTok across all platforms. It's Beth_Mwaura7. Then another thing is I wanted to say I am planning to start a podcast. Yay! Yippee on Spotify, and it will be still Let's Talk About It. So if you feel like you will not be having enough time to sit and watch my video on YouTube, you can just be listening as you're doing your own things, as you're walking, as you're doing dishes, as you're doing all those things. You can just be listening to it. I will be announcing the day I upload the first episode on Spotify, so please be expectant, and then please also follow me on the Spotify podcast. So yes, is there any other announcement? I don't think so. So let's get into it. So I hope you all have been doing well, and I am doing well myself. Thank you for asking. Yeah, so today I wanted us to talk about, let me just be comfortable because it will be a long one. Not really long, but just be like a story to tell. So I wanted us to talk about high school. I know. So today we are talking about high school, and specifically the thing I wanted us to talk about today is being a leader, specifically in CU, in high school, or even in campus actually, but mainly in high school, and also growing your emotions. What do I mean? So I will start by giving my story. So I went in high school, Karate Girls High School. If you are in Karate Girls and you're watching my episode, please let me know on the comment section and I will give a shout out to you. So I was in Karate Girls High School and I was in CU. I am born again and I love Christ. And I was in Christian Union. I joined my Form 1. I was a class rep, CU class rep, and then in Form 3 I became the vice chair. Then in Form 4 I became the CU, the Christian Union chairlady, and it was a really nice experience. And I am giving a shout out to all the leaders in the Christian Unions, whether in high school or in campus. But specifically, the reason is why I wanted us to talk about it is because there were some struggles when it was just the thing to do with being a leader in CU, and the notion of being perfect and not having it, and the fact that still in high school you're growing as a lady and you have these emotions, you don't know what to do with them, and then now you go to, you remember when you're going to umetoka midterm or umetoka long term, I think it was long term, I guess. And then now you're coming and now people have stories you're hearing, oh my god, sijinani wamefanyia nini, people like, story, I was just at home and doing shenanigans over there. So specifically the reason I decided to share on this is because it was such a struggle for me to grow up as a lady, most especially when it came to realizing yourselves, realizing your emotions, how to deal with them, and still being a Christian Union leader. So there was this thing of where Christian, kwanza mostly Christian individuals are funky. What? Kama unaenda. I remember first of all, I was not allowed to go to any funky that, like, most especially drama and music festival. I was not allowed to go to those funkies because I am just as a leader, first of all. Then I was not supposed to be seen interacting with boys, guys. Sour too. And the thing of it was such a cliche for you to receive a letter from a guy from another school because you're just a CU leader, so it was such a struggle back then. And I feel like it was really hard for me to navigate the emotions that were coming in, because of course we were growing and you're in high school, and actually in high school is such a rapid growth, because now there is where you're becoming a teenager, is where now you're growing towards becoming an adult. That's why I'm focusing really on being a Christian leader in high school mainly, because in campus, even if you're a Christian leader, you know what you want, you know how you're feeling, so you're able to at least navigate that. But now in high school, it was more like a prison, like there are some things you are not supposed to do. Kama ilikuwa abomination for you to do that, right? So yeah, it was such a struggle. I remember there was a time I used to like feel some weird stuff, and then now you cannot be seen talking to a guy, you cannot be seen interacting with them just because you are a leader. I mean, it was really such a struggle. But I used to what I used to do is mainly talk to my C patron. Luckily for me, I was having such a good relationship with our C patron. Shout out to her. She was called Mrs. Moneki. I used to love her a lot. I used to share a lot with her. And then also I used to talk out with my friends, my close friends, of course, people who are still in the leadership. And I wanted to start a platform where we could talk about it with my leaders, my fellow leaders in Christian Union. Because now in high school you're still growing, you don't know what to do with it. And if you're there in high school and you're watching this video and you're relating to what I'm saying, whereby you're not supposed to express such feelings, maybe una feel ni kama you're attracted to a certain guy because he's looking nice and all that, but you're not supposed to talk about it because you're just a leader. It was such a hard thing to do, or to even state that you're actually in a relationship. I remember back then you'd hear mostly when it came to like, what was it called, visiting day, and the family or maybe the boyfriends are trying to see the ladies, and then we'll collect. You're not supposed to say you actually have a boyfriend. But I didn't have a boyfriend, come to think of it. I don't think in high school. My first boyfriend was in campus. Yeah, story for another day. But yeah, so it was really hard for leaders in high school to navigate how to deal with the emotions and how to work on them, and how to, there was this thing of leaders being perfect. And I think I would do another episode where we talk about leaders are not perfect, they're also human beings, and they're also growing, most especially in high school. It was really unfair because I remember despite of the emotions that were coming, even when it came to hizi vitu zingine, maybe you were not able to finish the assignment, and then umepatikana, now maybe you are the entire class, but out of the whole class you are identified just because you're a leader. And it was such a moment, man. But yeah, it was really hard to navigate all that. It was really hard to navigate how to work on the emotions, how to express them too without feeling judged, without feeling like you are sinning. But then let me tell you, feeling attracted to someone else is not a sin. This is something that has been created even by God. Love is something that has originated from God. And being attracted to a guy, be it in high school, most especially in high school, because this is where the emotions begin. This is where you're noticing your body growing, you're noticing your figure is coming up, you're noticing you're becoming beautiful, you're noticing unaweza jipaka this combination and look more attractive. So it was really hard to navigate how to work on those things and still be a leader, be a Christian Indian leader. So I remember in my time, I finished high school in 2017. Was it 2017? Yeah, 2017. And in my 4 years, I remember what I used to do mostly is I had a diary. I used to write down how I'm feeling. And I also used to talk about it because I really love expressing how I'm feeling. So I used to talk about it with my patron, sometimes with my friends, sometimes with my mom, because I'm so close to my mom. So I used to tell my mom here and there, and she used to help. I used not to tell her like everything, obviously, but I just used to tell her how life has been. And then the main thing that has really helped me is God, because I remember when people are going out for maybe lunch or supper, I used to go to the field. We have such a huge field, and I used to go there, run around as I speak to God. So mainly I remember there was a certain day, it was really a very bad day for me. So I remember I went to, there's this hall that we used to call it multipurpose hall. Is it multipurpose hall? Yeah, in high school. And it used to be like a combination, a lot of activities were happening there, right? So I remember that it was such a bad day. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I remember I had so many emotions at that time. So what I did, I went to that hall, and then I took a seat, and then I put it in front of me, and then I took my seat, and then I sat, and then I was talking to like God, like it's in form of a prayer, yeah, but I was like just expressing how I was feeling. And if I feel like I was crying, I used just to cry. So it was like such a easy moment for me, just because I knew how to handle it. But the reason as to why now I decided to talk about it is because there might be people who are struggling with it, and how you end up getting into certain addictions, like maybe reading pornography books, maybe like such weird stuff, because one, you're not able to express how you're feeling, you're not able to talk to someone about it. So this is specifically for that person who is a leader in high school and doesn't know how to navigate the growing up part, and also to others who are there looking at the leaders like, why are you doing like that, why are you there being seen with a guy, why are you there doing whatever you're supposed to do, because you are supposed to be perfect. So I feel like that should not be the case nowadays, because you all need to like understand that we are all in that platform together, and we are all in the same age bracket. Like between nilingia high school nikiwa like, I think I was I don't know, was I 2014, 2017. So I was like around that age bracket, between 14, 18 or 15, 19 or 20. We are still in the same age bracket, right? So we are growing, we're all having all these emotions, but then again, because you're just certain, you're a leader somewhere, you cannot be able to express that feeling. And specifically if you're a Christian leader, because you're allowed to interact. If you're president wa shule, wewe haukuwa na shida mingi, but specifically for those who are Christian leaders, it was such a huge deal to have these feelings, to have you not being you not passing your exams, to have you not finishing the assignments, to have you not making noise in class, to have you not sleeping in class, like you are supposed to be this perfect human being, but yet you're also growing. So it used to be a little bit traumatizing, that's the word that we use, and to a point it can actually be depressing, because if you don't have someone to talk to about it, and you are just on your own, you don't have someone to support you, you don't have someone to talk about. You can decide to do diary, because I was doing diary. I can't even remember where that book went. Oh my god, I don't know if I found it or I still have it. I remember I used to write it down, and then I pin the pages, or if it's something that is disturbing me, I used to write it down, and then I glass the paper, and then I tear it out. It used to help me a lot. So another way I used to do again is to run. I used to jog. Let me not say run. I used to jog a lot. So when I was feeling like it's becoming overwhelming, because I remember I used to organize Sundays how the hall is going to be cleaned, and then I used to organize how everything is going to be organized. So something that helped me actually to still survive in high school is delegating duties. I really had a good team of leaders who are really helpful, and I used not to be so harsh on people. So when you go and ask them to volunteer, they were really willing to do that. They were willing to volunteer. So that used to help me a lot. So if I felt like it was overwhelming, I used to do jogging as I am talking to God, or I am crying, or just go to the hall and pray. We also used to have prayer rooms, so I used to go there and just pray. Then I used to write diaries. I used to talk to someone. So these are basically things you can do if you are in such a position. And then if you are there and you're not a leader, now you're able to understand that the leader is also growing like you are, and is also having the same feeling. She's just a girl. I remember there was a time I had put on my status stories that I'm just a girl, a small girl with a big God, and all that, an imperfect child with a perfect God and all that. So that's basically it. We are all growing, we are having all these emotions. So treating some people to some extent like they're supposed to be perfect, they're supposed to like know what they're doing, and they're supposed to just figure it out, and they're still in their 14, 15 years old. That is not fair. I felt for me it was not fair, and that's why I decided to talk about it, because it was something I personally experienced, and I felt like it was not really something I really enjoyed in high school. As much as I really enjoyed to be a leader, I didn't enjoy the fact that now you are expected to be perfect, and you're expected not to express how you're feeling, you're expected not to have boyfriends, you're expected not to even think about it, because that was sinful. So I don't know how life is right now for high schoolers. I would really love to know. Maybe I don't know if I have a friend in high school right now. Most of my friends are with my Lisa, but I would really love to know how it is for them right now. But yeah, just know that this is something that people are growing and people are experiencing these things, so you don't need to like judge them. Same case to campus. Once at campus is oh my god. I am not saying that is out of, because I was still part of Christian Union leadership, and you could just see a lot of pretense, a lot of shenanigans. So at this point I was like, I need to know God for myself. And I needed to do. I still want to do the episodes where we talk about religious and church nowadays, and how we need to know God for yourself, because there's a lot happening. There's a lot of practices that are coming up, and people are like, what the hell is this? Like, why is this happening, and why are people following such practices and activities in the name of faith, or in the name of being religious or spiritual? So I will be doing that episode about the religious and just knowing God for yourself. And that is really what helped me. I knew God for myself, even in campus, even in high school. I decided to know God for myself and to make God my friend. Because I remember there is a verse, I want to paraphrase it because I can't remember where exactly it says, but it says, I no longer treat you as servants, but I treat you as friends. So I took that personally. I took it like, God is my friend. And there's also, I think it's in Proverbs or Psalms, says that there is one who sticks closer than a brother, and that is Jesus Christ. So I used to remind myself that every time I am going through certain things, I used to just go and express them to God, because these are feelings that are normal. These are feelings that have and everyone is going through them. So the fact that you look at someone who is in leadership and feel like they're not supposed to be feeling that is not right. So I used to talk to God about them. I used to talk to God about how I'm feeling when it becomes overwhelming, because it can be overwhelming, and most especially balancing between being a leader, being a student, and being someone who's growing up was such a hard thing, because now you needed to be perfect in your cause, you needed to be perfect in your leadership, most especially when the leader who gave the mantle to you was doing such a good job. Because I remember the leader who gave me who was spirituality, such a marvelous leader. Like I was her vice, so we used to meet up a lot. She used to train me a lot she's called Emma. She was really nice. I used to pick up with her. She had trained me on how to be a leader. She had trained me on how to communicate to God. So it was such an easy transition, right? Ile yenye unajua kila kitu, like wewe just handle yourself when you're tired, then you're there, you don't even know where to begin. So yeah, so that was my journey, and I'm like, at this point I feel like it's not supposed to be an abomination where girls specifically, I don't know about boys, I would really love to hear about guys, how they used to handle such emotions when they were growing up in high school, and still being in CU leadership, but most especially for girls, because girls are more in tune to their emotions, they're more in tune to how they're growing, and now everything is becoming bigger. You don't know how to react to it, you don't know how to react to maybe the period stage and everything, so it was just an entire process. So yeah, the reason that's why I decided to have this episode is to just tell that one person or two people who are in Christian Union leadership and are watching this, or who have experienced the same. Maybe you're out of campus, but when you're watching this episode, you're like, I relate to what you're saying. It's just encourage younger a younger person who's in high school right now, whenever you meet them, that it's okay, it's normal to have all these feelings. It's just learning how to deal with them, learning how to be expressive in the positive way, so that you don't get because I feel like most sexual addictions, you might end up seeing them with leaders, not because they cannot say no, or not because they cannot be able to resist. It's because they don't know how to express. They feel like they need to withhold, they need to put them to themselves and not share about it. And then when you put yourself, and there is where now that's a trap or a hole where the devil uses and now introduces you to pornographic books, pornographic videos, and now you get yourself already addicted to them, and now becomes a whole messed up situation. So to avoid all that is now agreeing and feeling like it's normal for you to be feeling these things. It's just learning how to express them in a good way, and learning how to cope with them, and learning how to deal with them by maybe expressing them to your friends, just maybe writing on a diary, just talking to someone who is higher than you, maybe your patron. If you're not close to your patron, you can talk to your leader in your youth leader in your churches, and just express them and tell them. And let me tell you, it was so weird when I decided to, because I had a mentor in high school, and I used to go and tell them, and they used to tell me that's the exact thing they were going through in high school. So now when you share, you actually realize that you were not the only one, you were not the only one going through that thing. They also went through the same. So now they tell you how they conquered, they tell you how they went through it, and how they have been able to get there. They give you their personal experience, and through their personal experience you're able to also know that you're not alone, and you can also conquer and everything else. So apparently that was just it for this episode. I just wanted to share that. I hope you have learned, I hope you have enjoyed, and I hope you have gotten one or two things that maybe you can talk. If you're there, you have a sister who is in high school and she's a leader either in Christian Union or just a leader in high school, you can just go there and talk to them, and let them share out how they've been feeling, how high school has been for them and everything, so that they can feel at home, they can be able to know there's someone who actually cares, right? So that marks the end of my episode. So I hope you have enjoyed, I hope you have learned, and please, if you have gotten to this point of my episode or of this video, please give it a like, share, comment if you have something to share about this episode, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on my Instagram page, Let's Talk About 7, on my personal page at Beth_Mwaura7. But that's just it on this episode. Thank you so much for being here. Now Sana, thank you, and let's see you on my next episode.